crazy.
Welcome to the Shield Football Podcast. I'm your host, Fredo. With me today, we got the whole crew back in the building today. We got that boy, Jerron, got that boy, DC, and Steven running things in the back like always, man. Gentlemen, what's up? What's good, man? Free agency. It's been a week already into it. Interesting stuff has happening. New players, players that have got new contracts, new homes with some different teams. But we're here to talk about it, man, and everything between all that. Guys, what's up, man? What's good? Jay, how you been, man?
Been good. Getting closer to the draft. This is one more step until we get excited about the start of the season again. So we got the draft and then a schedule release, and then we cooking. So this is part of it. Free agency has been pretty entertaining, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of big names changing teams, so I've been excited.
Absolutely. And my boy DC back from vacation, man. How about you, DC? How you feeling today, man?
Good to be back, guys. Like Jay say, the free agency is starting to pick up, and now we'll start probably seeing trades with draft picks here real soon, because it's about that time where people start trying to jockey for position. So it's only gonna get better from here. This guy,
yeah.
You know, the NFL, the gift that keeps on giving, year in, year out, all around.
That's why NFL is king. That's why it has the most more fanship and more following within another sport, within this country at least. But yeah, man. So we were out here talking about it, Jay. So we got some news and notes that we're gonna jump into, right?
Absolutely. First and foremost, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, both within maybe 12 hours of each other. Get brand new contracts. It's reportedly that Chase got a 4-year, $161 million contract, while T. Higgins got a 4-year, $115 million contract. Big money spent on that Cincinnati Bengals offense. First off, what you guys think about the amount of money that both players got?
I'm surprised that the ownership and the front office of the Bengals even gave up that much money. Historically, the Bengals have not been a money up front type of organization, but they know that their powerhouse is the offense, and with two elite wide receivers right there, and your elite quarterback, that's right there's going to set up for Golden right there. And you need it within that division alone. So that's I give that an A+. It was about time. To be honest with you, I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. DC,
right.
Your thoughts, man?
I'm glad T. Higgins got his money, but to me, it's freaking stupid. You're going to come out here and you're going to pay these three guys on offense over $115 million a year when your defense already look like wet toilet paper. You got to be kidding me, man. See, what they should have did is just trade him. Trade Higgins for picks. Because now you coming out there, you got your defense so bad, you giving up 40 to Pittsburgh. What that say about your defense last year? That's terrible. And you finna get somebody fired. And I'm going to put this on Joe Burrow. He opened his mouth and said the team can get it done. This whole season is on him. I'm telling you right now. See, we look at Mahomes, we look at Josh Allen, we look at Lamar Jackson, and we expect those guys to elevate receivers.
Yeah.
But him, he wants to make it easy on himself. Oh, go get me two high-powered guys, and we're going to run this offense. But guess what? Your defense still going to be giving up 40. And all it's going to take in the game is one stop, and your asses are done. And it's going to come to it. I'm telling you right now. Watch, you're going to get somebody fired.
It's like this division alone is you can't have the one or the other. It's like the only good balance I've seen within that division you could say is the Ravens, but the Bengals are saying that hey, the only way that you can stop us is by stopping our offense, and they need to score 40-plus points to win games, basically, because their defense ain't going to stop nobody at this point, right? Right, DC?
That's right. Because you look at it, Fredo, they spent all this money, and guess what they didn't do? Get better.
Yeah.
They the same team they were last year. And it looked like it's going to be even worse probably on the defensive side. They got to use all their picks on the defensive side. You ain't got no money left for nobody else on offense.
So they're trying to trade their best player on defense.
No. They're not trying to trade him. He requested
he
the trade
requested.
because he knew he wasn't in that boys club to get that money.
Yeah.
They were gonna string him on. So who do they have on defense?
Yeah.
If Trey Hendrickson is gone, who do they have?
Yeah.
Me, you, and DC going out
right.
there
There we go.
playing DC playing defense probably.
Give me $1 million. I'll be out there.
Yeah, they should have called up like get New England second round pick. It's early in the second round for T. Higgins. Get something back of quality because this gonna come back to bite.
So maybe in this draft they go all defense. I mean, but you
They
have
have
young
to.
talent. I mean, like those rookies ain't going to do much
Because
coming in.
You ain't got much money to spend on defense now.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's putting pressure on the GM definitely because you got the highest paid number 2 wide receiver of all time. They can say 1A, 1B, but we know Jamar Chase is the man, right? Then they gave Gesicki a contract this
he got a new
offseason
one too.
also.
A 3-year contract.
3-year contract. The GM is going to have a perfect draft. He's going to have to fill corner, D tackle, D end, safety, all in one draft.
Corners.
And if not, like you said, DC, somebody's getting kicked out of here.
Be in trouble.
They already fired the defensive coordinator, and he wasn't that bad.
No.
It wasn't his fault that he didn't have talent on that side of the ball. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say ridiculous that they signed him. They could have put a little more pressure. Hey, he could have played on the franchise tag.
Right.
Why? I'm gonna bring it up later, but I think this is with that new money jump that they got with the salary cap. I think everybody's going crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like it's like almost every season, everybody's breaking somebody's record. The high is this, the high is that. And, it's like every year someone's gonna break someone's record. They're playing the market basically.
Yeah, but it's like what team spends that kind of money all on one side of the ball? And that,
The Bengals.
And that's not, and that ain't even including the offensive line.
Yeah.
So what we gonna do?
Yeah.
So this is crazy, man. That's crazy. But shout out to T. Higgins got his money and Chase got their money. So,
But what you said is really important. They didn't get better. They stayed the same.
still the same team.
So how do they get better? It's through the draft. And if these picks don't hit, at least 4 of them.
So every year until these contracts are pretty much dealt with, they're going to be dependent on the defense and offensive line within the draft.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see.
The highest paid non-quarterbacks in the NFL, Jamar Chase, is making $40 million a year, $40.25 million. Myles Garrett, he's making $40 million a year. Max Crosby, $35.5 million a year. Justin Jefferson, $35. Nick Bosa, $34. CeeDee Lamb, $34. They throwing money around like it's nothing. They like everybody is Elon. They just throwing money around.
Yeah.
And none of these teams were in the championship game. I don't see no Eagles. I don't see no Chiefs.
Baltimore.
Baltimore's not on. Nobody on
Buffalo.
Baltimore's on here. Nobody on Buffalo. Nobody on Washington Commanders. So we're paying all this money to people. Is it worth it? Like maybe we need to take a different team building philosophy.
It's tough, man. Unfortunately, I mean, they're gonna sell tickets. I'll tell you
Yes.
that because they got the superstars. They you got your good lead receivers, man. But man, that team's ain't gonna go nowhere tough. Especially when you got, like I said, within that division of the Bengals with the AFC North, that's a competitive division right there. So
You go up to Buffalo and for a playoff game and a blizzard, those receivers are worthless.
Yeah, okay,
Those receivers
yeah.
are worthless then,
your
you gotta
D
think
line,
about that.
offensive line, and your running
You
backs.
got to win it in the trenches. So,
And the crazy part about this, all this money given out, 2 of the 3 are often injured. T. Higgins
Yes.
always has a
Yes.
problem. He's
Yep.
always missing games. He's always questionable before a game.
Yeah.
We know about Joe Burrow. 2 of the last 3 years, he started the year off injured.
Yeah.
So it's like you giving all this money, ain't no damn guarantees.
the dude that won 2 comeback player of the year. So that means you have to be out to get the comeback player of the year.
So
they doing?
basically, this season he's going to get hurt, and next season,
Comeback player of the year.
Yeah,
again.
comeback player of the
That's
year.
the only trophies he collecting.
let's keep that in mind when it comes to free. What is that? Fantasy draft.
Yes,
Don't
absolutely.
draft Burrow this year.
Absolutely. All right.
deck.
So moving on, we coming down to Houston. The Texans have agreed to, with cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. on a $3 year, $90 million deal, making him the highest paid DB in the NFL. Let me say that again: 3 year, $90 million.
Yeah.
Fredo,
Yep.
this is your team. Are you excited? Are you questioning it, or what's happening?
Well, first of all, man, congratulations to that boy Derek Stingley, man.
Of course.
Catching in the bag. This is another thing. You know, you want to be excited, but you also got questions about it. And let's jump into it. So the question is, my main is, I don't mind that he's getting paid, but he's injury prone. The only year that he's been proceeding kind of consistent was last year. Hence the contract year. You know, he was eligible for it. But before then, he missed 6 games, and then he missed the rest of the season in his rookie season, I believe.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been that consistent besides last year. It's coincidence that football players, you know, when it comes to the contract year or a chance to get a contract, they happen to ball out, which he did, man. He balled out pretty good. We know that he covered $40 million wide receivers, and you got to pay your DBs $30 million at least, and that's what he earned. And now he set the market. That being said, I'm excited but worried at the same time. Can he perform like he did for the next 5 seasons that he's gonna be with the Texans? Because I think he still has 2 more
Yes.
with the 5th-year option. So
Yep.
this right here lands him 5 more years within Houston.
Yep.
Can he stay at least 3 years fully healthy to get the money's worth out of that? We'll see, man. At this point, I love the signing, but the big picture, like we said in the previous one with Higgins, can he stay healthy? We'll see. DC, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to figure out why they did it 2 years ahead. They didn't have thinking he coming out of year 3 of 5.
Yeah.
And they went. I guess they're trying to make money for down the road. They're trying to make money for CJ and see what it's going to look like for the defensive end when y'all pay him. So I guess that's what he's trying to do, get ahead. That's why it's only a 3-year deal and nothing longer than that. Even though they still be a total of 5. But yeah, I still kind of scratch my head that they done it so early when they still got him under control. But the only thing I can think of, they preparing for CJ.
Well, the reason why I think they did it so early is because you got Sauce Gardner also coming up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And, you know, so they want to like, hey, let's set the market before somebody sets it for us
Yeah.
type of thing.
That's a good point because up until last year, the thought was Sauce was the better cornerback.
Yeah.
And then he came this year and they blew it out the water because there were the people when the draft happened, they wanted the Texans to get Sauce. But it didn't work out that way. And up until this past year when Stingley had this all-pro season, people were like, well, Sauce was the better corner.
Well, every time Stingley's on the field, he produces very well. The thing is, he wasn't on the field as much, but last year he was. That's what I'm saying. If he stays consistently, like if he could give me at least 13 games in the season, I'll be happy with that. You know. So, and he's been very productive, man. This past season. Jay, what are your thoughts, man?
So again, this is one of the benefits of having the salary cap jump. I can almost guarantee if they didn't have that salary cap jump, they wouldn't have signed him this early. They had extra money to push out to players, so they're like, hey, he's our best performing secondary player. Let's go ahead and give him a new contract. It makes him happy, and like DC said, it kind of cushions the salary cap implications of giving CJ and Will Anderson new contracts, because you do get him early. Because if Sauce got paid, I think he would get paid a little bit more.
I think both of those guys gonna get more than Sauce gonna probably get a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got leverage now.
Yeah, I think he'll get a little bit more. So it's like, hey, let's get him signed early and take advantage of this salary cap jump, and then let's go ahead and get ready for the quarterback and for the defensive end.
Yep. And the Texans basically just ruined the whole market for everybody else
Yes.
in the corner, because they want to solidify their corner early right now. So, hey, if anything, man, shout out to Nick Casario for thinking ahead.
Yeah, no,
It's a risky move, but hey, if it pans out, shit, you just
But Fredo, wouldn't you think that going forward that CJ and Will Anderson gonna get more than Stingley?
Yes.
On a per year basis.
Yeah.
You know, CJ gonna hit the 55, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, Will Anderson, he gonna hit over the 30 mark.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a lot of money tied up in those three also.
I mean, but at least you got something. You know, you got Nico Collins for the next 4 years already. You got 4 more years with Nico, and then you're gonna hopefully you can find a wide receiver within this draft, and and we're just gonna see, man. Like at least they're dividing both sides of the ball, not just like the Bengals. It's just that one side, and hope and pray your defense to find that you find that gem.
It's good that they're spending on premium positions.
Yeah.
The only one they gave up was the tackle. So Laramie Tunsil was the sacrificial lamb for for Derek Stingley, right?
And certainly don't create penalties.
No. So I mean, damn. But yeah. So they got a quarterback, they got a corner, and they got a defensive end that they're going to eventually sign, which are the actual positions that you're supposed to give big money to.
Yep.
So Fredo, with Tunsil being gone,
Yeah.
with this draft, what you think is more important? Is going to be receiver or tackle?
So I say whichever best player available within those positions, because we don't know where the draft is going to land at. We can predict all day. We need this, we need that, but the day of the draft, we don't know who's going to trade up, who's going to trade down, who's going to move up. My opinion, I feel like the Texans are going to move up to what receiver or tackle you're going to get. I don't know, but it has to be one of those two, and I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yes.
Which other two? Because those are premium positions. So
who's going to be the tackle now? The Tunsil's gone.
I want to say
It's on the roster anyway.
Fisher.
Okay.
Fisher.
I think Fisher's the one as of right now. But who knows? They might move Howard to left instead of right.
Okay.
Or who knows?
Most likely Fisher. They drafted him for that position. Yeah. Even Tunsil came out and said that they drafted people and they're going to be okay. Yeah. So if he says it, there's no ill will, then I'm okay.
Yeah, and and back to Tunsil, man. Like a lot of people have been saying within inside the organization that Tunsil is not that good of a leader. He is one of those vets, meaning that he does the minimal that he has to do because his name has cloud.
Yes.
And so, and I understand, man, but the way you perform on the fields on Sunday does not match the clout out, within the building. It makes you look bad.
So when you look back at Tunsil, do you think the fact that he had the false starts would outweigh the fact that he's a decent tackle?
Well, yeah. Because good tackles don't create false starts like that. What's that one tackle from San Francisco?
Trent Williams.
Yeah, Trent Williams. Do you see any false starts weekly, like in the day? The
only thing he gets is when he's throwing people out of bounds. He might get a penalty every once in a while.
Hey man, I'd rather have that toughness than someone making mental mistakes. But hey man, like I say, it's all about character and attitude, man. And I think that's what D'Amico Ryan's looking within the player, character and attitude. And I feel like Tunsil's attitude wasn't up to par of D'Amico's. Well, that's why I had to split ways, man.
The problem I have is if he wasn't falling in line, okay, but when it comes to passing, he is elite.
Yeah.
When
That's my point
pass
right there.
blocking, he's elite.
Yeah.
He may not be the run blocker you want, but I don't think he was the weakest part of the line.
Yeah.
Kenyon Green, who's not there anymore. Martin was like, I think there's way more weak links on the line. He was just making enough money to where they could get him off the book.
Yeah.
This was a lot of accounting. Like he again, like I said, he's the sacrificial lamb for Derek Stingley to
Yeah.
get his money.
And to my eyes as a Texas fan, I think it's a very good sacrifice. I mean, like, it had to be done, man, but this team wants to run first. And we noticed that last year. They want to run the ball first, not give too much pressure within CJ because you don't want to get your franchise quarterback hit as many times. And he was the second highest quarterback that got hit.
Mm-hmm.
And they put that money they put in the offensive line did not look what it should be looking on the
So
field.
now if he's the second most hit quarterback, it's okay. So the line ain't with their butt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
It makes sense. now.
It makes sense now. It makes sense now. So, yeah.
As a GM, you
But-
can say, "Hey, we're not spending that much money on the line no more."
But look, let's say that the offensive line they put together looks half decent what they did last year. That's an improvement already, right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what to find out? I wish football season would start within a month, man.
Right. All right. So done with Derek Stingley. Let's move on to Cooper Kupp.
Let's go.
Cooper Kupp is going back home to the state of Washington. He is signing with the Seahawks. It's a 3-year, $45 million deal, which is $15 million a year for Cooper Kupp, who is slowing down, I would say.
How old is he, Jay?
I'm not sure exactly how
31?
he's
He has to
probably
be like
30.
30.
He's 30.
He's probably
Yeah,
30.
30.
But to
Yeah.
me, his body is
Oh, yeah.
his body's 35. But if you look at what the Rams ask him to do in their scheme, he's got a lot of miles on him. So, what do you guys think about the $15 million a year for Cooper Kupp with the Seattle Seahawks?
Go ahead, DC.
I think the 15. I guess that's why they couldn't trade him. Nobody really wanted to trade him and then extend him for $15 million a year. But I still think they gotta go find another receiver. I think both these guys are slot receivers with him and JSN. So what are you gonna do then? I think, and they got Clint Kubiak coming over, so they're gonna have to go out and find him a bigger receiver, somebody to play on the outside. I know Kubiak, he's gonna want to run the ball, but whenever it's time to pass, they got 2 slot receivers, so they're gonna definitely have to pick somebody up in the draft or go somewhere and try to trade for somebody else. They need that. They got to the same guy basically.
Yeah. To me, I feel that the Seahawks are trying to figure out what to do. I don't think that the signing is bad at all. I think it's a fair deal. It's not bad, but like Jay said, he's going to be in his 30s already, and Jay said that his body's a 35-year-old man. And that's not good for football. But I think that overall, they should have just stayed with DK Metcalf at this point. But he was like the sacrifice they had to make to get some picks. And hey, man, like they got was it a second rounder from out of them?
For who?
For DK Metcalf.
I think so.
Yeah.
Third or something
Yeah.
like that.
And I feel you can find a good replacement for that, but I don't know, man. Like this signing right here, I'm trying to. It doesn't fit, but I guess they're trying to see if it works out. What do you think? What do you think, Jay?
As of right now, he's 31 years old. His birthday is June 15th.
Oh, so he's gonna be 32.
He'll be 32
season start.
when the season starts. And he's making $15 million a year. And like I said,
In the center for 3 years.
his body may or may not be able to hold up, just because if you look at that Super Bowl run that they had, man, he was blocking defensive ends at some point. He was going over the middle, catching tough balls, getting hit by linebackers. I just, like DC said, you have 2 slot receivers, and unless you're going to go full Oregon spread with Chip Kelly kind of spread, I don't see how you get them incorporated into the offense as efficiently as they could be, but that's their problem to figure out. I believe most likely they're going to go wide receiver early in the draft.
Yeah.
Yes.
They might be looking for a big body to pair with these two, but at $15 million is ridiculous to me.
So, and we know with the Kubiak Shanahan type of offense, they ask the receivers to block a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, so they're not going to ask him to catch a lot, but they're going to ask him, hey, man, you better help us block. And good luck with that, man, because he's not that big. He might be like, what, 5'11"? 5'10"?
Yeah, he's 5'11".
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see what's up, man. So get ready to block.
It was funny because there's a lot of hope with the Cowboys fans that he would be available to be the number 2 for CeeDee Lamb. But when you start hearing the rumors of what he's about to get paid, there's no chance in hell.
They're not doing that.
They might have maybe 10, maybe 12 tops. 15 for 3 years. There's no way they were going to do that. I don't know if he makes it the life of his contract with how his body is going. So it's good that he went back home and got what he wanted, but the Seattle Seahawks have been making a couple questionable signings, in my opinion, and that's just one of them.
Yeah, and the Seahawks are a team with probably one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. They were number 1 and number 2 in giving up pressures. There was over 200 and some pressures on Geno last year, and they got Sam Darnold. And we already know what happened to Sam Darnold when you put pressure on him.
Ghost.
That's what happened. Yes, that's happened to him in New York. So they're gonna have to be a team that pick receiver and then build their offensive line up too. Their line's worse than the Texans and a lot of other teams right there. They were like 31st in the NFL, giving up pressures.
And you got to give Geno his credit. He didn't make it look that bad.
No.
But when you look at the pressure numbers, they were awful.
Especially in the beginning of the season, man, he was looking very good.
Yes. Going on to other news. This is kind of interesting to me. Tatorio McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, he was at his pro day today. And there's scouts in the audience that had clocked him at a 4.48 40-yard dash, which for him would be impressive. That'd be incredible.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a 4.48 on film. He looks more like a 4.58 maybe. He's 6'4", 220. So
Big boy.
I didn't expect him to run that well, but there was 24 NFL teams in attendance, so he will be a hot commodity in the draft. I was hoping he'll be there at 12, but with these numbers, he may or may not be.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think he'd get in the top 10?
It'd be tough.
Yeah. Jacksonville at 5.
That's too early.
Too early.
He's not Julio.
Right.
To me, if you're not a Julio Jones, if you're not a Randy Moss, if you're not a Jamar Chase, if you're not that special, you shouldn't go in the top 10. That's why a lot of people pegged him at 12 because it's a little more of a safe proposition. If he was 6'4" and he ran a 4.3, he's top 10, top 5. But the guy, his film says he's a top 15, and I thought that he would start at 12, but he may go a little bit higher. There's no knowing yet.
Okay.
I think that's all the news. You want to get into these free agent grades?
So right now we got these NFL free agency grades, and so we're gonna go around the table and we're gonna see if we agree with it or we don't. So let's jump off with the list. Let's start off with the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, according to CBS Sports, they gave the Arizona Cardinals a B-. Now, we're gonna go around the table and talk about this stuff. Jay, do you agree with it?
let me see what are some of their key additions. They had Josh Sweat from the Philadelphia Eagles, Akeem Davis Gaither, and Jacoby Brissett. I think they're banking on a lot with Josh Sweat being signed, and the way he performed in the playoffs
and the Super Bowl.
I mean, B is kind of generous. I'll give it like a C plus.
C plus. DC
Definitely a C.
C.
C, yeah.
All right. On to the next team, man. We got the Atlanta Falcons. They will grade it as a C minus. And key additions is linebacker Devon Dabble, edge rusher Leonard Floyd, and pretty much that's it. And and they re-signed some of their players like Jake Matthews, and long snapper Liam. Oh man, I don't know what you're talking about that. But yeah, so Jay, do you agree with that?
C minus is right.
Yeah.
I would give them a D with how they're
D plus.
How they're throwing Kirk Cousins' name into this. If you
want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that.
Okay.
So Kirk Cousins is being retained as of right now. The rumor was that he went to the owner and he had a conversation with the owner, and miraculously he's not being released anymore. So I think in a couple of days he's got a $10 million bonus that if he's on the roster he gets, and as of right now they're saying he gets it.
Yep.
DC, I know you have feelings about Kirk Cousins and this whole messy situation. What you think?
It's an F. Until they do something with this Kirk Cousins situation, it's a complete F. Just like they F'd up on draft night. It's a complete F for the Atlanta Falcons.
And I remember,
stupid, man.
I remember draft
stupid.
night, man.
Yeah,
Like
why even do
DC
that?
was like tripping about that. But go ahead, my bad,
you
man.
go out and you give Cousins all that money, and then you go draft Penix. Just to have Cousins play 14 games, then you bring Penix in. Really? So now you got to figure out what you're going to do with Cousins. All other quarterbacks been moved. There's only a couple of teams that, that need him. So now they say this dude is going to make $100 million cash the 24-25 season. And he may be a backup. Swallow your pride, Atlanta. Do what the 49ers do. You see you made a mistake, fix it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get him up out of there. Move him on, do something different, man, because this is ridiculous. You're finna sit this man on his bench to make $100 million this year to play behind Michael Penix. And all you have to do was swallow your pride, take the offers, and you're going to eat the dead money anyway. Move him. Move him on. Let him go.
Get some picks out of him.
Yeah. Need to hold that man hostage. You made the mistake. Undo the mistake and let him go. Because he's going to be worthless. You on the bench. You got a fan base up there wondering why we cutting these checks to him just to ride the bench.
So you remember what his average salary is?
What is it?
$45 million.
Yeah.
You got a $45 million bench player. And
Easy money, bro.
I heard a ridiculous notion that there was a podcast I was listening to. They said it's okay because the money's already allocated. So it's okay that he's making $45 million on the bench because at least they have a starter. And I was like, are you insane?
Yeah.
You know what you could be doing with $45 million a year to make your team better, to improve your team?
I mean, you could bring two solid players with that type of money.
Yes, but no, you have a bench player making $45 million, and all it's going to do is create more controversy.
Yeah.
So DC has a good point. F in free agency, just because they haven't done anything with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
You got to think what team's going to take on that? You got to, in order to move him, they're going to eat a lot of money.
Yep.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying you should have talked to the Colts a long time ago before they went out there and pulled up Daniel Jones out the grave. So, yeah, that's what y'all should have been trying to get him to go to the Colts. He probably would have done that.
Yep.
Y'all want to be prideish. Pride to come back to bite you.
Yep. Like at least get a third round pick
Get something out of it. Get from up under it as much as you can.
Yep.
If they cut him today, it would have been a $40 million cap hit. So
Falcons just doing Falcon stuff, man.
I do like the Leonard Floyd signing. They needed a edge rusher.
Yeah. Okay. On to the next team, man. We got the Ravens. They're graded a solid B. Key additions to them is D Hop and Cooper Rush.
Why are they getting B?
I think because they kept
Ronnie
tackle.
Stanley.
Ronnie Stanley. That's why. Because they're going based on resigning and departures and additions.
Okay, so Ronald Stanley is a good tackle. I'm glad they kept him. I'm glad they kept Patrick Ricard also. But your only additions, the key addition is DeAndre Hopkins.
33-year-old wide receiver.
And again, no offense to UDC, no offense to Baltimore, but if you are a free agent wide receiver going to either the Titans or the Baltimore Ravens,
that's where you're going to die at.
You're destined to die.
That's the end of it.
That's the retirement
That's
home.
right.
Man.
Des Bryant,
So this is double homicide.
Andre Johnson,
Yes.
Jeremy Maclin.
Yeah.
They go there to not be relevant anymore.
So right.
So DeAndre Hopkins to me is a zero of a pick, and signing Cooper Rush was puzzling as hell. Yes, he wins games as a backup. He does win games. He keeps the team afloat. But you got a Lamar Jackson offense. And then if Lamar misses any time, you're going to the statue of a quarterback.
Totally different offense.
To do what? He's not going to do no zone reads.
Here, Henry, just run the ball.
Yes,
Run the ball.
Henry, run it 40 times a game. That's it.
Yep. And hope to God the defense gets a turnover or a pick
Exactly.
six.
But that's puzzling. B is I give it a C.
See?
A C tops.
DC?
Maybe a C.
Maybe a C.
B plus.
Okay.
No.
On
Have
to-
they ever figured out what they're gonna do with Marlon Humphrey?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
On to the next team, we got the Buffalo Bills, man. And just like the two initials of that, what I just said, they got a B. And key addition is wide receiver Josh Palmer and defense lineman Mitchell Hutch.
Michael Hocht, I don't know.
Yeah. And then Joey Bosa. And then also they re-signed Josh Allen, of course, with that massive contract he got, which is pretty good. And Shakir, they keep Shakir, Bonner, linebacker, and Reed, long snapper, and then Ty Johnson. Other than that,
I'm gonna give them an A. I don't know why a B is so low. I like the Josh Palmer signing. To me, he's the perfect receiver for Buffalo. He's gonna shut up and do his job, and he's not gonna give no drama.
Yeah.
You get Joey Bosa, who was cut by the Chargers.
Yeah.
He gives you a legitimate edge rusher on the other side of Greg Rousseau. You get out of the Von Miller game.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were tired with that, so I give that an A just in replacing Von Miller.
Yeah.
And then you sign your people. Greg Rousseau, new contract. Khalil Shakur, new contract. Why is this a B? This should be an A.
yeah, I agree with that. A,
I
DC.
give them a B plus. It's good. It's good. They got Josh Ree up for a while, so this will be good.
On to the Panthers, man. They got a B, and their top signing is safety Trevon
Maury.
and edge rusher Patrick Jones, defensive lineman Bobby Brown III, defensive lineman Trent
Tershawn Wharton.
Tershawn Warren, and linebacker Christian Razubo. Yeah, and running back Rico Dowdle from the Cowboys. But yeah, and also they re-signed a couple guys. The cornerback
J.C. Horn.
JC Horn.
and
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
They need to take care of that.
Other than that, yeah, a B.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do like the Trayvon Morig signing. I do like the Rico Dowdle signing because of what happened with Jonathan Brooks. Of course, he retore his ACL. So I like that. B is kind of generous. I'll give him a B minus, C plus, something like that. I don't know how much they help their quarterback.
Yes.
It's the only thing I'm thinking about.
DC?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it about a B. Like you say, the Rico Dowdle, you got a backup running back that gave you 1,000 yards last year at Dallas. So I was surprised that Dallas didn't bring him back. For $6 million, they couldn't They couldn't swing that one.
They missed out on that one. I don't know why they didn't bring him back.
And they swap and get Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. So Javonte Williams is the one who most likely will make the team. I think Miles Sanders might be a cap casualty. They only paid $1.75 million for him. So I thought they could have brought Rico. The only thing I can think of is they're going more to a power scheme. They're going to a lot of pulling linemen, a lot of counters, a lot of power runs, a lot of traps, stuff like that, a lot of movement. I don't know if Rico necessarily fits in that scheme. That's the only out I can give him, but then he only got $6 million. You gave Javonte Williams $3 million, so I don't see why they wouldn't be able to sign him because they got plenty money.
But I think Javonte should work out. Just 2 years ago, before he got hurt, we thought he was the Broncos' future running back.
Yep.
He just happened to get injured, and they brought some other guys in. So I think he'll end up getting an extension at some point with Dallas. I think he will. He's still young.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
All right, on to the next one. Chicago Bears, man, their grade is an A, solid A, and we know that they were making a lot of moves during free agency, man, and a lot of trades as well. The key additions is offensive linemen, 2 offensive linemen. They got Joanna Jackson and offensive lineman Joe Thuney.
Thuney.
And then they got an edge rusher, Doyle. Man, what's up with these names, bro?
I don't even a Digbo.
Yeah, a Digbo and defensive tackle Gary Jaddard.
Yeah.
And then center Drew Dillman. So yeah. And they also re-signed the linebacker Amon Ungwambare.
A warmer, yeah. So, look, first, so they get A is perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
They did exactly what they wanted to do in bringing back those players, and then boosting that offensive line. A is good.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, they did, like you say, what they were supposed to do. They redid that offensive line to take care of their quarterback.
Yep. And next team, we have the Bengals at a grade of a C minus. The key addition they got for their team is a defensive tackle, Terrell Slaughton, and running back Samaje
Perine.
Samaje
Came
Perine.
back home.
Yep,
He came back. And then linebacker Oren Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and also their key resignings: T. Higgins, defensive lineman B.J. Hill, tight end Mike Yazaki, offensive lineman Corey Ford, cornerback Marco Wilson, and defensive end Joseph Owasi.
Ozai. I'm gonna give this a C minus. No, I'm gonna give this a D plus. I do like the. All right, so they got T. Higgins, they got Chase signed, but we're still got question marks on their defense. They didn't bring anything to boost up their defense, and then we got Trey Henderson who's thinking about leaving, so that's a D plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
a D. So like we say, they didn't get better.
Yeah.
I didn't see where they got better as a team.
All right, now we go on to the next team, the Browns. Their grade is at C plus. Key additions: Kenny Pickett, quarterback, via trade, and then offensive tackle Lucas, then defensive and
Joe Tryon,
and linebacker Devin Bush, and defensive tackle Malik Collins. Key resignings as edge rusher Myles Garrett.
They get
C plus.
They get a C plus for duping Myles Garrett into coming. They get a C plus just for that.
Yeah.
Everything else is Malik Collins is okay, but he's getting long in the tooth now. So it's just everything. The whole grade is on Myles Garrett.
Yeah. DC.
F. It's a straight up F. Can you get a zero F? You had the opportunity to trade Myles Garrett,
Yeah.
and you brought him back for $40 million a year, all because he said this team ain't going in the right direction as far as the winning team and this point in his career. When the whole damn time he didn't have no more guaranteed money. That's why he pulled a stunt.
Yeah.
But like I say, And then you go get Kenny Pickett. You watched him in Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Y'all laughed at him all the time. He was in Pittsburgh, and y'all take y'all ass out there and bring him on y'all team. No, this is a complete F for Cleveland. You could have got your King's ransom for Myles Garrett, and you gonna have the nerve to bring him back just to go out there to win 4 or 5 games. You got to be kidding me, man. Get rid of him. Ship him off. Get 2 or 3 first-round picks. Whatever somebody was offering you, you take that. Yeah, that's his second big deal with you guys, and y'all gonna still win 4 or 5 games. You got to be kidding me. Barry, out of there. Whoever the owner, Deshaun Watson, out of there. They done made 2 of the most boneheaded moves over the last 4 or 5 years that I've seen. That's why they ain't gonna win. You see right now, 5 games probably next year. Kenny Pickett at quarterback. Get out of here, man. Small hands in cold weather. That don't work out.
Oh, like those
Jesus.
gloves.
Yeah, you can't say no better than that.
I mean, what do you expect, man? It's the Cleveland Browns, bro. I mean, this organization, this franchise has just been F forever.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Sad.
Next team, man, is my boy Jerron's Cowboys, man, and CBS Sports grade them a C-. Jay, what are your thoughts on this one?
I'll give it a C+.
C+.
They did enough to be able to draft who they want when they want. They're not contingent on definitely going running back. They don't have to definitely go anything, but they do need to get another receiver. Javonte Williams, decent. That's okay. Peyton Turner, okay. Robert, I mean, you're just filling spots. Solomon Thomas, Kyer Elam, Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray. The linebackers were probably the better signings. I do want to see what Kyer Elam did in Buffalo, but you got your people back. You got Kavonte Turpin, you got Wanye Thomas, and you got Osa Digizua back. So with those, bringing them back, I'll give it a C+.
Okay, DC?
Yeah, I give it a B, just because they hadn't messed nothing up.
Yeah.
You know, they hadn't really done no major damage. So we're finna see in this draft how that works out. But as far as what they did, no, they hadn't really done any bad damage to their team. And they're keeping the money, seems like, under wraps.
Yeah.
You know, I see they restructured a couple of deals, but other than that, you know, they're keeping the money. Smart spending is at least what it looks like now.
Yep.
Yeah. And on to the next team, the Denver Broncos. Their grade is a B-. Key additions, Tulum Huankun.
Hufunga. Just go Hufunga.
Hufunga.
Yeah. The
Linebacker Dre Greenlaw and tight end Evan Ingram.
Yep.
There we go. And of course, they signed their players. You got T.J. Jones, quarterback Gerard Statham, offensive tackle Matt Perte, and cornerback Jaquan McMillan. Is that your cousin, bro?
I need to hit him up for some money if it is.
Yep. So yeah, man. So the grades are B-. Jay,
I give it an A-.
A-.
Getting Hufunga and Greenlaw from San Francisco is incredible to me.
Yes.
Those are 2 underrated signings that people aren't talking enough about. That solidifies the defense that played better last year, and then you get Evan Ingram, just another weapon. I give it an A. I'm gonna give him an A.
I'm with you, Jay. That's A all the way.
Yeah.
Like I say, those 2 signings alone.
Yeah.
Which they had a top defense last year. I mean, Vance Joseph, he's gonna put those guys to work.
Yes.
I don't mind the Evan Ingram because they needed a tight end.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's looking good for the Broncos, man.
All right, on to the next one. Detroit Lions. They got a solid B. Key addition, cornerback DJ Reed. And re-signings, they got edge rusher Marcus Davenport, linebacker Derek Burns, and defensive tackle Levy. Oh, shit.
Onzarike.
Onzarike, yeah. Jay, you agree with this?
C+. DJ Reed, get him back is fine. Marcus Davenport is fine. Getting DJ Reed is fine. Getting Marcus Davenport back. But you lost Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
You cut Zadarius Smith. I don't see how you got better, so C+.
Yeah. DC?
Yeah. I gotta give them a B. They pretty much stand pack with this team right here, which is a team that they really don't need much.
Yeah.
As far as that, but we'll find out what the play calling looks like this year.
If they could just stay healthy, man, that'd be an A.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, on to the next team. We got the Packers. Their grade is a B. Key additions: offensive guard Aaron Banks, and then cornerback Nate Hubbs, and key resignings. Really, they don't got none. Just
McDuffie, Manuel Wilson.
I mean, if you got a kicker as your first key resigning, that's not good.
Yeah,
and their grade's a B.
C plus. Eric Stokes is fine. That's a fine signing. So, yeah. I mean, actually, they lost Eric Stokes. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That's a C. Why are they giving them B? I don't know.
Because of the Packers.
Yeah, Aaron Banks is fine. Like, nah, ain't no way. C.
Yeah. Next team is my team, the Texans, and they got a D plus.
That's harsh.
Like the key additions is via trade, Christian Kirk, Sheldon Rakins, Terrell Tyler, cornerback Tyron Smith, wide receiver Baxton Brews, safety C.J. Garner Johnson via trade, and offensive guard Laken Thompson, and they didn't re-sign anybody big, so. Departures. I think the reason why they give him such a D plus is because of departure. Layman Thompson.
Right.
I already tell you how I feel. So y'all let me know. Do you agree with this?
I don't agree with that at all. Christian Kirk is a good player. Why are you downplaying what he can do? Braxton Berrios is a pretty good player. Sheldon Rankins, Chauncey Gardner. Why are you? These are good players that they're bringing in. Why in the world are you downplaying? I mean, yes, Laramie Thompson was a big name, but they had a plan in place. Just them having a plan in place, I will give them a B minus.
B minus? Oh, well, I like that. DC?
I'm gonna go with a C, Fredo.
C? C plus?
I like the Gardner Johnson, but the Christian Kirk deal, that right there, I can't get on that one, Fredo.
Really?
I know he's a good player. I know he is, but I can't keep him on the field. This is a guy who's about to get cut. All you did was take the $14 million out of Jacksonville book and put it on yours. You helped them out, right?
Well, they restructured his contract.
What'd they do to it? They gave him more years on there?
No, I think he's taking less money.
Turn into a signing bonus.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
But yeah, until he showed me he can stay healthy a full season, man, that's just skeptical. Yeah. I mean, I'll still go out and find another receiver.
Absolutely, yeah. Like he's a solid number 3, but he's not number 2.
Yes.
But the fact that you got him for a 6th-round pick, DC, I mean, that's still pretty good. I mean, he's a proven wide receiver, but he's not elite level, but he's a good roster spot.
I would like to.
He's better than Robert Woods. I mean, I'll take it. We talked about this last week. Yeah. He's better than Robert Woods.
Yes,
On to the next team, man. We have the Colts. They got a B, a solid B. Key additions were safety.
Cameron Bynum, that was a good signing, and Charvarius Ward, good signing. Daniel Jones, Khalil Herbert.
Daniel Jones.
I believe it or not, I love the signing for Daniel Jones for them.
Well, why is that?
Because it gives you at least a baseline. You know what Daniel Jones is, and Anthony Richardson may or may not get it done, so you can always fall back on a still young Daniel Jones, and he can still produce a little bit. He's got legs, he's got arms. I do like he seems like a coach to me.
Yeah.
I'll give him a B. I agree. I do like the signing, especially Charvarius Ward.
Yes.
When you got to go against Nico Collins in that division, that's tough.
I like it too. I can B plus. But yeah, I think they lost one of their linemen. I think
Ryan Kelly.
I didn't care for that very much, but at least they're trying. They're trying to get stuff going in the right direction for the coach. And the Daniel Jones, who y'all think gonna be starting? You think they want Daniel Jones to get the job?
My prediction, Richardson's going to start for the first 4 games, and then they're going to put Daniel Jones, and then they're going to see that Richardson was a bust for the 4th pick overall in the first round. Bust.
You call him Trey Lance?
At this point, yeah.
Yep.
Daniel, do you see the same way?
Yeah, Daniel Jones eventually he's going to finish the season out. Daniel Jones is going to finish the season
But if Daniel Jones don't produce when he finishes the season out, that means the head coach is gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
joined the hip with this quarterback.
Yeah.
That's his guy.
Yeah.
So he going down with the ship.
He's gone.
Whew.
But they got Traverse Ward, which is a good
Oh,
signing.
that's awesome. Yeah.
And Bynum
Yeah.
is a good signing also. So I give him kudos on that.
Next team, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they got a solid C. Key additions: Patrick
Macari,
cornerback; Jordan Lewis, safety; Eric Murray, and offensive lineman Robert Haynes, wide receiver
Diami,
Dammy Brown, offensive tackle Chumont. Oh man,
Dogba,
Man.
Doga.
I apologize for these African names.
Yeah,
man.
the African names
You know,
are
it's throwing
tough.
me off. Resignings, they have none. And, they had quite a few departures, but nothing big, though. But, yeah, C. Do you agree with that, Jay?
I'll give him a C plus. I really like the Jordan Lewis signing. I don't know how he fits in their scheme, but he's a good player.
Yeah.
Eric Murray, good name.
He was with the Texans.
C plus, something like that. Nothing too crazy.
DC?
I'll give him a C. I'll hold reserve for later because I want to see in the draft which way they go.
Yeah.
Which way they go. Because if they end, I think they're probably going to go back and take a receiver. I don't think they want to, like Jay, we were talking about at 5. They're picking at 5. I think they want to put somebody on the other side. If not, they may go back far enough to get the tight end out of Penn State. Now that they moved on from Ingram, they want to get young at that position. So I think they're going to trade out of that spot. I really do. I think they're going to get another pass catcher, but they don't want to do it there. I think they're going to trade out of that spot. It just depends on who's available when they do move back.
I mean, that'd be smart right there. You could get more picks and you get the guy that you want within the tight end or wide receiver. We'll see. All right, next team, we got the Chiefs, and they got a B minus. Key additions: offensive tackle Jalen Moore, running back Elijah Mitchell, cornerback Christian Fulton, and re-signings they got Trey Smith, franchise tagged him, linebacker Nick Bolton, wide receiver Marquise Brown, and Juju Smith.
You said they got a B.
They got
B minus. That's about right.
Yeah.
Bringing back Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquise Brown's fine. They lost Joe Thuney though, which is kind of troubling.
No, they traded him.
They traded him, so they did that on purpose.
Yep.
B minus is fine. Yeah, I'll go with that. I don't know why they traded him.
I'll give them a C plus. They got Hollywood Brown back. But the one that scratched my head is Christian Fulton.
Yeah.
The Titans drafted him in the first round a few years ago. He didn't cut them up. He just couldn't stay healthy. He just could not stay healthy. Maybe Spags can figure something out because he was on the Chargers last year. They moved on from him. So we'll see how that works out for him. Yeah, right now.
All right, going on to the Raiders. Key additions. Their grade is a B plus. Key additions: Geno Smith via trade, safety Jeremy Chin, offensive guard Alex Kappa, linebacker Eldon Roberts, and cornerback Eric Stokes. And key resignings: Max Crosby, we got that big ass contract. Defensive tackle Adam Butler, edge rusher. There we go. Malcolm Canoe. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Kuntz.
Yeah.
Okay. Defensive tackle Matthew Butler, and safety Isaac Polamo. God, man.
Yeah, I don't know about the safety.
Yeah.
But overall, I give them the same B plus. The Geno trade was really, really good. And then re-signing your defensive end is worth it to me. So they're winning.
So now we go. Oh, DC.
I'll give him a B, Fredo. But this is the team I would have liked to see go after T. Higgins. Right here. Now you got Geno. I would like to see you go after T. Higgins.
Yeah.
You could have paid T. Higgins what they paid him.
Yeah.
And it would look legit on your team.
Yeah.
On that team.
On to the next team. We got the Chargers. They got a C, even C. Key additions: cornerback Dante Jackson and running back Najee Harris. And they got to resign Khalil Mack and safety Elijah Molden. So yeah.
C is right. Najee Harris doesn't move the needle for me, and bringing back Khalil Mack and losing Joey Bosa kind of wipes each other out. So
Yeah.
C is fine.
I'm gonna give him a B, man. I like the Becton move. They put him at guard. They're gonna put him next to Alt, so that side of the offensive line should be nice to do what the Chargers want to do, the ground and pound. So yeah, I give him a B.
B. Okay.
If he can stay healthy.
Right.
Yeah. Next team we got the Rams, B plus. Key additions are Devontae Adams, defensive tackle Puna Ford, offensive lineman Coleman Shelton, and they got to re-sign Matthew Stafford and left tackle Alec Jackson and wide receiver Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, B plus. The Devontae Adams is an upgrade over Cooper Kupp at this point in his career. I like that. Getting Puna Ford is also really good. I've always liked Puna Ford. And then you re-sign Matthew Stafford, keep him on the team after all that controversy. I like it. B plus.
DC?
I'm giving it an A just because they kept Stafford and they brought in the receiver. So they're gonna have a field day. That offense is gonna look really good, man. It's gonna have you got red zone target for real between Puka and Devontae Adams. I mean, it's gonna be a showtime in LA this year.
And on to the next team, Miami Dolphins, man. Key additional. I'm sorry, their grade is a C minus, and their key additional is Zach Wilson. Yes, this mother F.
Why are they getting a C minus? This is an F of anything.
And and defensive back, I ain't going to try to pronounce that.
Ifitu Melifonwu.
And offensive guard, James Daniels. And key re-signings is cornerback Quadon Kuhn.
Cater Kohu.
Yeah.
There's no reason they get a. This is a F. You bring in Zach Wilson for what? You get Melifonwu. He's okay, but you lost Javon Holland to the Giants.
Yeah.
This is an F. They had a terrible offseason.
I agree.
Yeah, give him a D just for trying. That's terrible.
That's trying?
Like Holland was the one. Holland was the big one. Like that.
Yeah, you can't lose him.
No.
And on to the Vikings, man. They got an A minus. Key addition, offensive guard Will Fires, cornerback Isaac Rogers, center Ryan Kelly, defensive tackle Jonathan Allen, defensive tackle Javon
Hargrave,
and running back Jordan Mason.
That's definitely A.
Yes.
They killed this offseason. They got offensive linemen. The offensive line wasn't that bad, and they just upgraded offensive linemen. They upgraded defensive tackles, Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and they got Jordan Mason, who may end up being their running back one. I loved everything they've done. They re-signed Aaron Jones too, brought him back. Only thing is losing Sam Darnold, and I think they had a plan in place. I give them an A plus.
Yeah, just A all the way for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jordan Mason, he's right back in the Shanahan offense. So,
Right.
Yeah, that's going to work out well for the defense that was already putting pressure on quarterback.
Yep.
And you got to get those tackles. My God, Flores going to have a field day. Man.
On to the next team, Patriots, A minus, man. Key additions are Milton Williams, cornerback Carlton Davis, edge rusher Harold Landry, linebacker Robert Spills, offensive tackle Morgan Moses, and wide receiver Matt Collins. And they keep Austin Hooper, tight end, and linebacker Christian Ellis.
I give it an A. They had enough money to spend, so they should be getting this grade. But Milton Williams was a good rotational player. Harold Landry, I'm not sure why the Titans cut him.
They didn't even pay $17 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then who else did they end up getting? Carlton Davis. Oh yeah, they hit on almost all of them.
There's
Robert
a number of
Spillane,
defensive players.
Yeah, I think they did a real good job. I'll give them an A.
Yeah, this is the A for these guys, and I figure they fixed that offense in the draft.
Yeah.
Top 4 or 5 picks, so I'm thinking they're going to address that on the draft side.
Yeah. Already, the head coach was Vrabel is making his print.
Making moves.
Yep.
Another team should have went after T. Higgins.
Yep.
Another team.
All right, another team we're gonna talk about, the Saints. Their grade is a C. Key additions: defensive tackle Devon
Gotcha.
Gotcha via trade from the Patriots, and safety Justin Reed. And key resignings: Nathan Spurt, and safety Tyron Matthew. Defensive end Chase Young, tight end Jawan Johnson, and receiver Dayton Pettis.
Dante
Pettis.
Pettis. I give him a C minus. Nothing special.
Yeah, I give him a D. I don't. Yeah, they got too many holes to fill. And to
And
be
Sally
honest with you, the Chase Young, I guess he done enough for him to bring him back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
No. On to the next one, the Giants, C+. Key additions, cornerback Paulson
Paulson Adebo.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay. Might as well.
Roy Robertson, Harris, Christian Board, James Hudson, and Javon Holland, Chauncey Golson. I give them a B. I like what they did. They got Chauncey Golson, who was a Cowboy depth player, really good pressure on the quarterback. Javon Holland was a real good player in Miami. Paulson Adebo, not a special corner, but is a good body, so I'll give him a B.
B. DC?
I give him a C plus. I didn't like the Slayton 36 to 12 million for him a year.
That is a problem, yes.
I don't know why they did that at all. But of course the Holland pick, that's the big one for me. That's an awesome pick for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I give him a C plus.
C+. All right. On the next New York team, the Jets got a B, solid B. Key additions: Justin Fields, cornerback Brandon Stephens, safety Andre Cassio, and they re-signed linebacker Jamie Sherwoods and safety Tony Adams. Yep, B. What are you giving, Jay?
I'm giving him a C plus. Justin Fields, they brought him in to be your number one. Like,
Yeah.
no other team is doing that. They lost Sherwood. C plus. I don't know if bringing in Justin Fields is enough. They lost Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, DJ Reed, Javon Kinlaw, Morgan. They lost a lot of good pieces. I don't know why they're getting a B. Give them a C.
Yeah, I'd give him a C minus just for getting rid of Aaron Rodgers and that circus that he had with him. And Justin Fields, at least he's back with his receiver, Garrett Wilson. He played with in college. Of course, the center that he played with is on this team.
Yeah.
And the tight end he played with in college is on this team. So there's some familiarity with the guys they surrounded him with, but I still don't know how this is all going to work out at all because he's got to deal with New York media now.
Yep.
We'll see, man. We'll see. On next team, Eagles, C minus. Key additions is a quarterback from the Cleveland Browns was via trade. Tyron Thomas Robinson, offensive guard Kenyon Green via trade with the Texans, and running back A.J. Dillon. And key resignings, Saquon Barkley and linebacker Zach Byrne. And they lost a lot of players, man. So their grade is a C minus. Jay?
I give them a C plus.
Yeah.
You got Saquon Barkley. You got Zach Bond in the fold. Those were key additions to your Super Bowl winning team. You got DTR as put him on the bench. AJ Dillon. I have no idea why you signed him. Kenyon Green. He wasn't anything special on the Texans, but you did lose Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Kenny Pickett, Isaiah Rodgers, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I think re-signing Saquon and Zach Bond outweighs every other move. So C plus.
Yeah, I give him a B because they got 5 picks in the top 100 next year just in comp picks. So they doing something right. I mean, I don't think any of the guys they lost some good players, but it ain't like they're pulling the leg from under the table on these guys. So they still be right, brother. That the GM is hard at it still. Putting in work. Harry Roseman, man, a genius at this stuff, man.
Yep.
Somebody, he's like the only one that can get this done.
I hate him.
All right, on to the next team. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers, C plus. The key additions, big one is DK Metcalf and cornerback Andreas Slay.
They get a D.
D?
Who's throwing the ball to these cats?
We'll see.
Is there a quarterback on their roster as of right now?
No.
So as of right now, they get a D- because they got rid of Justin Fields. They're playing around with Aaron Rodgers and they're playing around with Russell Wilson. Let's come on, man. I'm
We'll
done.
see.
This is another one of my F's. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the F. The DK Metcalf deal. Why would you pay him that kind of money? Why? That is not, the Steelers ain't never done that.
Yeah.
They ain't never went out and got a free agent receiver. That was a little bit upset because he lost the number one role on his team. Now you bring him in with George Pickens, and you're going to run an Arthur Smith offense with two guys who beg for the ball. What is this going to look like? Mason Rudolph is the only quarterback on the thing now.
Oh, that's the one.
So what are we going to do? About 3 games in, Pickens going to be open. He ain't going to see him. DK, he ain't getting his touches. Then what's going to happen? But you done gave this man $150 million, whatever you gave him. But what you gonna pay Pickens? You got to move on from him because you know he gonna ask for the Brinks truck.
Yep.
So it makes no sense to me what the Steelers are doing. I guess they trying to do something different.
Yeah.
But that move right there, I didn't really care for it at all, man.
And also they give a second rounder?
For DK, was it 3 and 5, something like that?
I think so.
Man, I didn't. That's an F for Pittsburgh, man.
Yeah, man.
That is not them at all.
It looks like they sabotaging their coach.
Yeah.
They bringing in every player who is not the Tomlin kind of guy, and they're like, hey, take this problem child and fix him.
Yep.
Because if they bring in Aaron Rodgers, it's a total shit show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. If you bring in Rodgers, it's going to be a real shit show because you got a guy who's hard-headed than Arthur Smith. We've seen him in Atlanta.
Yep.
He don't want to move off what he wants to do.
Yep.
And then you got a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers that wants to run things his way. Oh, man, it's going to be fireworks in Pittsburgh. They bring Rodgers in there. It's already going to be enough with the 2 receivers and Mason Rudolph at quarterback. And even if you go out and draft somebody, it still ain't going to be the same. This might be year right here.
Yep.
This might be the year.
it all falls down.
All right, next team, we got the 49ers, and they got a D. Key additions was Trey Thomason, cornerback, tight end Luke Farrell, and then safety Richard Garnt, and wide receiver DeMarcus Robinson. Who the hell is that?
Yeah, he was like the number 4 on LA. But if you look at their key departures, this is why the D is here. Debo, Hufanga, Elijah Mitchell, Leonard Floyd, Dre Greenlaw, Jordan. Man, they are bleeding, and they're bleeding bad. And I don't know if anybody can save them. D is a good grade.
Yeah, D-. Like I was saying last year, the windows closing is shut.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't.
You said it too.
I don't see him. I don't see him coming back from this. This is another year they're gonna probably finish at the bottom. I think the Seahawks probably gonna outdo them. I know the Rams gonna.
The Rams
outdo
are
them.
definitely.
So yeah, this is a troublesome season for the 49ers coming up, man. I don't see how they get their way up out of this. And you got a quarterback that some think he don't deserve it.
Yeah.
But he probably thinks he deserve it. And you went out there and you got Byron Morris on IU. You done gave him all this money, and then all of a sudden you say he's available for trade. So what are we really doing here in San Francisco? You know, and you got Christian McCaffrey, who got cut away from a torn Achilles or knee. So it's gonna be hell this year. It's gonna be hell in San Francisco, man.
I know, man.
Yeah, they swung and missed.
Yeah.
I tipped my hat for trying. They swung and missed.
Yeah.
They went all in, and it didn't work. It worked for the Rams a few years ago, but this is what happens when you swing and you miss, though.
Yeah.
You know, you got to start all the way over from the foundation and bring it back. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And now the Rams are almost back in that division, man.
Yeah, because that Rams young defense it's gonna be tough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then you add in Devontae Adams.
It's gonna be real tough.
Rams are winning that division.
Yeah. Speaking of the same division, Seahawks, man, they got a grade at B. Key additions of Sam Darnold, wide receiver Marcus Valdez Scantlin, and defensive lineman DeMarcus Lawrence. We're gonna talk about that with Jay, and of course we know the departures they got with their 2 wide receivers, Metcalf and Lockett, and Geno Smith, and yeah, let's talk about this. B, do you agree with it?
No, I do not. C plus tops. Sam Darnold's a downgrade. He's not better than Geno Smith. Marquez Valdez Scanlon is not an upgrade over who you traded away with DK Metcalf, and you cut Tyler Lockett. So Marquez Valdez Scanlon's gonna be the one, and of course they got Cooper Kupp also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, C plus. I just don't like the moves they're doing. They're giving big money to players not deserving of it. To me, I don't know what DeMarcus Lawrence did to them to give them the contract, to give him the contract they gave him, but they did it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm giving him a C. To me, the best one they did when they re-signed Ernest Jones, at linebacker for $11 million a year. Very underrated linebacker, man. But the Darnold thing and the bad offensive line, $15 million a Cooper Kupp, I don't want to ride with that.
Okay. On to the Buccaneers, man. They got a solid B. The only addition they had was edge rusher Hassan Riddick, and everything else. It was nothing but re-signs: Godwin, Branson, Lamar Davis, yeah, and then edge rusher Anthony Nelson.
I give him a B. Hassan Riddick is going to come in and help him, and bringing Chris Godwin back was surprising. I didn't think that's going to happen. Or Levante Davis, so B is fine.
DC?
Yeah, I'll give him a C plus. Just depends on which Reddick we're gonna get.
Yeah,
for sure. But the Chris Godwin, I like them being able to get him back.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were gonna do that or not. They want to keep the band together for one more run. Hopefully, stays healthy this year.
Yeah. Speaking about that, DC. Now we go to your Titans, man. Their grade is a C. Key additions: Dan Moore, linebacker Cody Bourne, safety Xavier Woods, and offensive guard Kevin Zeitler. And you keep your defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph Day.
Yes.
Yep. What do you think about that, man?
Actually, the best one for me is Joseph Day, and when we got it for, he was very underrated on the team this year. The big signing with the linemen, I'm still a little questionable about that. I see what they're trying to do. They want to move the youngsters to the other side, and so they can have protection on both sides. So it'll probably end up working out. But they're gonna draft a lineman within the first 3 rounds.
Yeah,
you have to solidify that, man, because it was just terrible last year. But I give them a D plus. But yeah,
a B plus,
a D plus,
a D plus.
Yeah.
Okay,
still ain't nothing spectacular. They spent some money, but I still want to see what it looks like after the draft.
Yeah, nothing crazy. They just didn't fill enough holes. So I agree with your D plus. Dan Moore, got to see what his accolades are. I don't know how special he is to just promote him to the left tackle position. But they also got Kevin Zeitler. So they're doing something to help out that offensive line. So, D plus is fine.
Okay. On to the Commanders, man. Their grade is an A plus. So I want to say that's the highest grade in here. Key additions are Deebo Samuel, Laremy Tunsil, Javon Kinlaws, safety Will Harris, and their re-signings Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, and Marcus Mariota. Do you agree with that?
A plus is high.
Yeah.
I do like what they've done. A is fine. A minus. Debo is questionable. We'll see how he does in the offense. Getting Larry Tunsil for them
is questionable as well.
Is question. I mean, it's a steal.
No, you see,
it's a steal for them.
And we talked about this. We know that Larry Tunsil with this offense, he's gonna do great because they're a pass first type of offense. So he's going to do great in this offense. DC?
I'll give him an A, man. I like the way they're doing it with all these 1-year deals.
Yeah.
They're not committing long term to anybody hardly on these deals. I do like that part about it. And they'll address some needs. But like I say, we still got to see what Debo looks like in this offense.
Yep. For sure. Well, that's it right there, gentlemen. That was it for the grades. Overall, man, free agency still going right now.
Yeah.
There's some, not big names still out there, but there's some names out there.
See where Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, the receivers are still pretty big names.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the two teams, I mean, with the Commanders and the Vikings, which one of y'all think done the best this offseason so far?
I would say the Commanders. Just because I think whichever player goes to the Commanders is going to be a better outcome. With the Vikings, we don't know what the rookie quarterback is going to do over there. So, but we know that their defense is legit. But you need an offense also to be a well balanced team. But the Commanders have a well balanced team, so I think the Commanders did it better. Jay?
I think the Vikings.
Vikings.
I like the interior of their defensive line. I like their offensive line acquisitions. They're just giving their quarterback another reason to be good.
Yeah.
They're not giving him a reason to be worse. And then you got Jordan Mason, who may be your RB1. Bringing back Aaron Jones. I like what they've done. I do like what the Commanders have done. I don't know. They got to get over that year 2 slump. So we'll see how that goes. But hell, man, both teams are doing a great job.
Who do you like, DC?
I think of the Vikings. Like
Vikings?
they put everything around JJ to make him successful. So I think they'll ease him into the offense. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You got a year to sit back and watch. So I think you won't see. I don't think you be honest. I don't think you'll see that much of a drop off. I think the offensive coordinator, head coach, gonna put him in the right spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When you throw in the Justin Jefferson, it makes it all easier.
Yep.
TJ Hawkinson, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. But are you gonna have any hope with that quarterback of his? What's his name?
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy.
They like him.
Yeah.
I trust Kevin O'Connell, coach of the year. I trust him to make some of them. So if he likes him, I like him.
Okay. Gentlemen, anything else?
Last thing. Little controversy in Dallas. It's not the first time, won't be the last.
I don't know. There's always something going on.
So
in Dallas.
DeMarcus Lawrence, who signed with the Seattle Seahawks for a ridiculous contract, took a shot. People were trying to, say he didn't. He might have just been bigging up in his new team, but I took it as a shot. So during the interview, he said he liked being in Seattle, and he knows for sure he's not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. And then Michael Parsons came back and said, "Hey, that's some clown shit. Why would you say that?" And there's been a lot of tweets from Cowboys players, ex-players, saying, I thought this was a brotherhood. Like, why would you take a shot at the organization?" So I'm firmly on Micah's side. Actually, keep going. DeMarcus Lawrence tweeted again back at Michael Parsons saying that if he wasn't into tweeting so much and he was more into winning, he wouldn't have left. And I was like, that makes no sense to me for Michael Parsons, who is a bona fide top 5 edge rusher in the league. He's a star on the team. He's a star in the league, and he produces. Every season, he's gotten over 12 sacks for 4 straight seasons. Now, nobody's done that. Nobody. Him and Reggie White are the only 2 people who have done that. Something like that. For DeMarcus Lawrence to say that if you would have did more winning, I wouldn't have left is clown shit. DeMarcus Lawrence played 4 games last season. You had no impact on the team. If you play better, maybe we don't get blown out by Green Bay, right? All the emphasis is on Michael Parsons, which it should be.
Yeah.
But he needs help from you. You're on the field too. What did you do in that game? Or what did you do this season? How many sacks and tackles did you get this season? It's kind of ridiculous that he was the one to spur this conversation on. It's kind of it's a slap in the face. He's always been one to be a good quote. So half of me is saying that he's just being a good quote for Seattle. He was a good quote in Dallas when he stuck up for the team, but I think he kind of moved it over to Seattle. His allegiance is with them, so he's like F them. But he's saying it like it's easy to win a Super Bowl. No, I mean, most likely you're not going to win the Super Bowl in Dallas. You're an older player, but you don't say that. You know, you don't say that out in the public. But what were y'all thoughts when y'all saw with the back and forth?
I think it was out of pocket. It shouldn't happen. Stuff like that. When you leave a team, you want to say, yeah, it was a good organization. I think it was best for both parties just to go on and go in separate ways.
Right.
Keep it under the carpet. Just say the right things and that's it. And go on with your new team and the team move on from all that stuff. Basically, when you let not trash, but like when you let stuff like this out, it just makes the organization and the players look bad, And then it doesn't matter the organization, it could be any organization, it could be any sport, it could be any player, Keep it professional, you don't want to let stuff like this get out, and and it is a brotherhood, especially with this team with the Cowboys. The whole history about it, once a Cowboy, it was a Cowboy type of thing, man, but just keep it in house and not let your laundry come out of it. Yeah. So I think it should have just not been said from Lawrence.
Yeah. I think it sounds like he had an issue with somebody or the team. I mean, in the team meeting, did you ever stand up and say this?
Right.
Why now you get off the plane in Seattle, the first microphone hit your face and you start saying this. Did you ever say this to these guys when you were there? Mm-hmm. I mean, why do it now? What's the whole purpose behind that? And Michael just stood up and took up for the team, but I don't get it why he's shooting slugs like that after you're gone.
Yeah.
You've been there 11 years or something like that, 10, 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as you walk out, you start shooting slugs back at the team. So he must have had an issue with something or somebody else that's in that Cowboys locker room or something.
The rumor is that him and Micah never really got along. He was doing the Hot Boys stuff when Michael was drafted. Like when they had a good defensive team, he called them the Hot Boys, which is okay. And then Micah came in being more of an individual. He wasn't part of the Hot Boys, quote unquote. So I think DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons never really got along. Once DeMarcus Lawrence was signed by the Seahawks, Micah Parsons actually tweeted, "It's my time. Like it's my time to be that front runner for this defense." So I think Micah was relieved that he was gone. He's relieved that he's gone. So I think it's just maybe DeMarcus Lawrence wasn't the leader that he should have been for the defense. So it's crazy, but yeah, it's just a crazy story. They always doing some kind of crap in Dallas.
Okay, gentlemen, anything else?
No, I think that'd be it.
No.
All right, man. Well, let's wrap it up, Steven. Man, thank you for tuning in to the Shield Football Podcast, man. If you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share this podcast with your friends and family out there, or any person that likes football. That'd be much appreciated. But we'll be back next week, same time, same day. Until then, peace.
Later.
Peace out.